Ciao, Tony Kishawi here for the Commedia dell Arte celebrations all around the world. And I'm wanting to share with you what has been going on in Australia and what I have been doing in Australia for Commedia. So the best way I thought I'd like to start this video, hopefully it's no more than 15 minutes long, I'm going to try and make a list of the things that I'd like to cover, and hopefully that will whet your appetite to watch the video all the way to the end. So I'm going to be talking about a new website. Well, it was created in 2018, but it's relevant now. It's called Theatre Practitioners Online. Now, it's a teaching resource where you can upload videos for people to access. Marco Lully has joined me in this. He's one of my practitioners now. He has uploaded some teaching videos of himself, and he's done them in English because of the Australian teachers like to watch Marco. And I have two Commedia dell Arte productions that I've been touring around Australia, and one of which has been constantly performing for 20 years. Yes. There's the National Drama Conference called 2020 Vision, which was postponed from last year, and it's been put on again in this year and in April. So all the drama teachers are gathering, and I'm going to be contributing my masterclass there. And I'd like to mention my book. Yes, I wrote a book. I've been teaching and performing and directing for over 40 years, and so I decided to put all my teaching methods into one book, and hopefully people can take my classes and my lessons and use them for their own teaching. Finally, the International Commedia dell Arte Festival, which I initiated back in 2012, where we gathered for 3 days, all Commedia aficionados in Australia, and we invited Antonio Fava to join us, where he premiered his black comedy alla Punchinella. So, stay tuned. I hope that you find my video presentation interesting and informative. The very first item I'd like to talk about is my initiative of creating the Theatre Practitioners Online. Now, the brainchild for this was that I didn't really want to travel around Australia anymore. My kids are growing up here. I didn't want to travel. And so I decided to record and share my teaching methods that basically in my book, but I thought I'd make some live videos where I can share. And of course, I didn't want to call it Tony Kishawi's online videos. I didn't want it to be all about me. I wanted to actually invite other practitioners to join me. So I invited Marco, I've invited a few people, and it's quite hard work putting together a teaching video. Now, Marco has uploaded about 3 hours of his lessons, and it's a major feat. And I hope that you visit the website and have a look at Marco's teaching. We are going to put a price on it, but because of the Commedia Day celebrations, we were going to offer a coupon for people to go in and access for free for a limited time. Just go and have a look, have a poke around, see what you like. And I'm hoping to attract, especially on Commedia Day celebrations and this video, is that I'm hoping to reach a lot more practitioners. Are you going to be interested in uploading videos so that people, if you're finding it hard to reach people can't travel to you anymore, you can upload your videos, use my site, and you can charge, of course, for your work. We don't want to give it away for free. Okay, so now we've got Marco. Here is some images of Marco's lessons. He hired a theatre and a camera, and he's got a volunteer actor who is acting out some of his lessons. And we can actually see just a little bit. We get a glimpse of some of his work here.
Okay, imagine we have 5 actors. Stop! The 5 actors just freeze and keep this position.
There you go, there's a little bit, just a sneak preview. Marco is sharing his teaching methodologies. Now, it's mainly designed for teaching teachers how to teach Commedia, if that makes sense. The reason why I'm saying this is because I often get asked to do some professional development for teachers here in Australia because the Commedia is actually part of the education curriculum. So we have teachers that have to teach Commedia, and they are always saying, "Oh, how do I start? How do I do that?" And so that's why we offer these workshops. 2020 Vision. Yes, this is the National Drama Conference. This is where all the drama teachers in Australia, this is within the education system. We're talking about high school, primary school teachers that go along and experience 3 days of presentations, lots of talks, and professional development workshops. Some of them are actually going to be online because of the COVID restrictions this year. I'm presenting my workshop is entitled How to Teach Commedia dell Arte all year round without getting caught. Now what I mean by that is that I entitled my workshop this because often when we are in the education system, we sort of attack things by their units. So you might do, you know, a Brecht one unit, Stanislavski another unit, and Commedia in another unit, and the students sort of just get pushed along and they go, okay, we've done that, what's next? Whereas my idea is that if you teach it all year round, in other words, use the training and the techniques of Commedia to train the actor, and the actor then can perform many different theatre genres. So I truly believe that Commedia is the base of all theatre, but of course that's another debate. So I'm actually saying, why not train them with all the techniques and get the actor fit so that they can sustain a character on stage. Use the masks, of course, during the year, not at the beginning of the year. And then when you get to do the Commedia unit, then they are prepared by all the technique, like the walks, the characterizations and stuff. You've been high and low status, improvisations and so on, so that you can, when you hit Commedia as a unit, the students are prepared and healthy and fit to be able to sustain a character for the length of a production or create skits, which is what they do at high school. I have a website called Commedia Unmasked. And the reason why I call it Unmasked is that I say that this is from a performer's perspective. In other words, I have been a performer for many years, and so my perspective of Commedia is looking through the eyes of the mask. Of course, you know, it's a little bit different when you look at it from the history books. And so I like to share my experience from being on stage, looking at the audience from a Commedia performer's perspective. And my book, well, my book is basically a collection of teaching methodologies that I have gathered. You know, I found that when I was invited to share, like I do a performance and then they say, can you offer a workshop so we can learn from you? And I go, yeah, sure. And so I got to be able to repeat my improvisational ideas and exercises and workshops to the point where I saw, okay, so the students are understanding this but not that. And so I had to, you know, change my exercise to get the best results out of the students. And that's why I put my book together, because I thought, well, you know, each improvisation is that works, that inspires students, I call them a gem. You know, you say, oh, I think I'll do this exercise because the students really love it and they get a lot out of it. So I put all of my gems, if I can call it that, together in one book. It's just my life's work, that's all. I also got some teaching resources as well. So I've got a set of Commedia dell Arte masks. These masks are actually made by Steve Novak, who was a Lecoq student quite a few years ago now, and he started making Commedia leather replicas. Now I've got one here. This is one of Steve's masks that he made. It's a leather, very nice. Cost me about 600 Australian dollars. God knows what it would be worth now if we're at today's prices. But, you know, this was about 15 to 20 years ago we bought this one. Still in good condition. It was performing for many, many years. And then he decided to make the rubber latex replicas. Now, I really love these masks because obviously they were made by a craftsman and they got that lovely sheen. We call them the leather look. because I think the Commedia masks really come to life when the light reflects off the mask. You know, if you've got a dull mask, it's just a character stuck on your face. But I find that the gloss really helps the illusion. Some people say, I saw the masks change its expression. And of course, it's an optical illusion because it's married with the body language of the actor. And I think that the gloss, the reflection of the mask, is something that is responsible for that effect. Okay, so I have a set of 7 and I sell them to teachers here in Australia as teaching resources. The students can, jump on them, and we've reinforced them in the, where it connects to the rubber latex because, students, they stretch the elastic and it might break. And also we've got a little toggle here, which is great for different students, different size heads. So one size fits all. So they're a great teaching resource. Cafe Floriani, as I said, had been touring the high schools and sometimes primary schools for 20 years. It was first created in 1998, and the production has been in demand. And I think the reason why it was so popular, Commedia is very, very entertaining, as we know. But it seems to spark something with the students. And in other words, they're not sitting there getting a live performance experience like Shakespeare, where they have to sit and listen, and it's all to do with the words. And it's very, some productions can bring the words to life. But what I'm trying to say here, that our Commedia production is about just interaction with the audience. It makes the students realize that we are alive and on stage and interacting. So if they say something, we respond, and it wakes up. You see the sparkle in the students' eyes when they realize that this is a participationary style of show. And I think that that's when the teachers say, hey, this was a great experience to bring into our school. So we would visit the school, set up in their big hall, or sometimes some schools have theaters, and we would set up and we would do shows. So here's my actors on stage here talking to the audience before the show. And I think the reason why our show was successful is because the teachers would rebook us each year. We'd come back around doing tours around Australia, because when the teachers say, look, to their students, you've got to get your money in. If you want to come and see the show that's coming to our school, you've got to give me your $6 or whatever, come on. And they go, yeah, but is it going to be any good, miss? And the teacher can say, yes, this show, I know, is going to be brilliant. Don't miss out. And I think that's one of the valuable things of having a successful show, is that the teachers know that you can produce the product, that you are actually going to have a very good experience for their students. Here they are, these actors. The cast changed. I often think of the analogy of the farmer. He says, this axe I've had for 20 years. I've changed the handle 3 times and the head twice, but it's still the same axe. So we could say that about our show, Cafe Floriani, that the actors change, and sometimes they even swap characters during a tour to keep themselves alive. One would say, hey, I've seen you playing the doctor now for quite a while. I think I could do that. And so they would change and experience. And as soon as they change characters, or should I say, as soon as they have changed the cast in that, the gags and the bits of routine that they've developed has to change with them. I think you know what I'm talking about if you are all Commedia aficionados. International Commedia dell Arte Festival. Now, I'm kind of proud of this, even though it was back in 2012. I initiated this. I wanted to have an international festival. We invited Antonio Fava to join us, and we flew him out to the Queensland University of Technology, which was our host, and we invited teachers and Commedia aficionados from all over Australia, and we ran 3 days of performances and workshops. Antonio Fava was very, very, very accommodating. He said, I'll bring with me my brand new production, the black comedy à la Pulcinella. And it was a world premiere performance at my Commedia dell Arte festival. Let's see a little bit of their performance.
Flavia, where are you? Oh, Flavio, tu miti alieni. C'è un perché, Flavio? Una ragione che possa coniugarsi con l'impossibilità mia di vivere senza di te. Tu di vivere senza di me. Se è vero quanto mi hai ripetutamente, ininterrottamente giurato. No!
No!
Non può esistere una simile ragione. I can live without you and you can live without me. So... Are you dead?
He's dead.
I've covered everything, and thank you very, very much for, if you're staying to the end here, thank you very, very much for staying. And what I would like to do is invite you to ask any questions. I'd love you to talk to me about anything that I've mentioned, and also if you want to share something yourself. I'm very interested to hear from anyone who wants to access the theatre practitioners online. Are you a practitioner? Do you have some lessons that you'd like to share and put them up online? Are you a student and you'd like to have access? So we've got a coupon that you can use, and that means that you can get a discount and free access to the online lessons at the moment that are up there. So just fill out the form. Hopefully it's in the description below. This video has been posted up on YouTube channel, but is also being streamed or accessed through the Commedia dell Arte portal. Book a time and give us a call. Ciao, ciao.